Hey guys, Pastor Tom here, coming to you from the mighty Mississippi. I mean, devotion videos on location. Here we go. So I want to share with you just a very brief story in the Bible. We're working through the Elijah story at church on Sunday, and this Sunday we are going to be talking about the most famous story of Elijah when he goes toe-to-toe with the prophets of Baal and has fire rain down from the sky. But right before that, Elijah meets a man named Obadiah. There are all sorts of Obadiahs in the Bible. You might know that there's a book of the Bible named Obadiah. Probably not that guy, maybe that guy. But we get a couple little verses about Obadiah, and we find out that Obadiah was a devout believer in the Lord. While Jezebel was trying to kill off all the Lord's prophets, it says that Obadiah hid 100 of the Lord's prophets in two separate caves, 50 in each, and he gave them food and water while they were hiding. And that's about all we know about Obadiah. Kind of interesting, right? You get all these questions. What kind of secret agent Christian is this? He's a Christian living right next to Jezebel who hates the Lord's prophets, but yet he's still a Christian and taking care of all of God's people, 100 of God's people at one time, even though he's working right next to Jezebel. So what does that teach us? I think it teaches us that even when times are bad, even when you might feel alone in your faith, we can still do good. Now, I'm a little confused about Obadiah because I personally wouldn't want people kind of hiding their faith, right? But I'll give him a pass because this was a time of persecution, and if he lived out his faith, Jezebel literally could have killed him. But what we see is, what we find out is that there are times in our lives when we might feel alone in our faith. You might feel alone at your job, your career, your friend groups that you have. You might feel alone in your faith. But even in those moments when the rest of the world might seem increasingly unchristian, it is still possible to do good. We can still live our lives. We can still be the light of the world. We can still share our faith. We can still do good things for God's people, even when the rest of the world doesn't care about it. So that's the little bit of a lesson we have about Obadiah, that Obadiah, even during a terrible time in Elijah's time period, even during a dark time in Israel's history, was still able to be the light. And we can do the same. So that's all I have for you. Enjoy this view one last time. Check this out, mighty Mississippi, and enjoy the rest of your day. God's blessings to all of you.